Hi, we're just doing a presentation on good burn barrels and bad burn barrels. Obviously, this is going to be a bad burn barrel. Talking about 50% of your wildfires are started in bad burn barrels and bad situations like that. We try to prevent that. Showing you a way to make a good burn barrel. Nice screens on the top, screens on the bottom for the air, elevated off the ground. And this is what happens when you have a bad burn barrel. All the bad stuff happens then.
So who are you with? Sorry.
Lee Heighton Forest Fire Crew.
Oh, good to go. How many brush fires have you guys responded to in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, I couldn't tell you.
That's a lot, though.
We had a lot this spring.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them this spring.
All right.
What, six or seven?
Right.
So the spring, but everything has been large.
Okay.
Very large. I mean, you're talking the East Penn Township fire. We had 2 days on that.
Yeah.
When that burned off the Blue Mountain, and you're talking a little over 800 acres there. And then we had Kidder Township, which is up at Jack Frost Big Boulder ski area. There was a little over 700 acres there. Our first fire of the year was 40 acres on top of the Blue Mountain, up from the zinc company.
How much property was lost?
Altogether?
If you recall. Yes. For each of the major fires you have here, you have the April.
This one was 865 acres.
Wow.
This one was over 700. I can't give you an exact.
Okay.
And this one was about 40 acres, maybe plus or minus a little. Wow. This one here was about 3 acres, and there's some even pictured. Some fires that we even had that aren't even pictured here, which were maybe a little smaller.
So we were at about 1,500.
Yeah,
a little over
1,500, 2,000 acres, somewhere around there.
And most of them started, how do you, accident?
Like this one here started because a campfire got out.
Okay.
This one here started about the same way.
Okay.
Campfire got out. This one here I think is still undetermined on the Blue Mountain. This one here is undetermined.
Okay. So basically, whenever campfires, make sure you put out your fire before you know.
Yep.
Common sense, I guess, is most of the thing, you know.
Yep. Use a lot of common sense.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yep.
My name is Bob Llewellyn. I'm a fire warden from Ringtown, Pennsylvania, and we're here at Owl Creek celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Wiser Wardens Fire Wardens District or Association. My topic today was fire behavior, and fire behavior is what drives everything we do in a fire ground. We have to assess weather, we have to take a look at fuels, and we have to take a look at topography. And what we do is take all that information, integrate it into some kind of a strategy, and then from that strategy we develop our tactics. And we constantly assess those three factors. As they change, we change our tactics. And so the ultimate goal obviously is for everyone to come home safely, and secondly is to extinguish the fire. So we do that by assessing what factors we have to work with and how they're affecting our performance. Thank you very much.
My name is Sarah Haldeman. I'm with the Southwood Fire Company in Tamaqua. I am here to talk about the campfire safety today. When doing a campfire, you want to keep the campfire at least 15 feet away from the tents and any flammable material that you would have. When you're doing campfire, you want to clean out at least 10 foot in diameter around the campfire ring. When you're building the campfire ring, rocks or any metal kind of circle around the campfire area. During the fire, you just want to keep it small. Don't get really rocking, like big, where the flames are going to be more than that you can handle. Watch for weather changes. If the wind would start gusting a lot, you don't want the embers to turn around and go into the woods and start a brush fire. When you're done with the fire, you want to take and have a bucket of water on hand with a shovel. What you're going to do is take and pour water into the circle, and with the shovel, take and stir it around and almost like make a mud pie with the embers. And then when you're done doing that, you want to pour some more water onto it and mix it around again, and that will actually help with not having it rekindle any fires.
Thank you very much. What message do you want to tell people who do campfires? What's the biggest message you want to tell?
Do it safe and do it smart.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Chuck Helms, and this is the Owl Creek Fire Tower, and it used to be the Mount Pleasant Fire Tower at one time. Mount Pleasant Fire Tower stood up by the Joe Zerby Airport at 901 and 81 near Minersville, and it was 60 feet tall, but then they took the top off, and the top ended up in Cressona for a while, and then ended up on a Forest Warden's backyard for a while. Now it was sold to or was donated to the Owl Creek Conservancy.
Thank you. How tall is the tower?
This tower right now is about 10 feet tall, maybe 12 feet tall.
Oh, plus plus the supports.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to give us a little tour of the tower, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Just let your head turn up here.
All right, thank you.
This is the tower map. We're in the center of the map. The scale is 1 to 2,500, or 1 inch equals about 208 feet 4 inches. The elevation here is 350 feet above sea level. And what I do in a fire tower is I work at the Bear's Head Fire Tower, which is 80 feet above the ground. It's on top of a mountain, actually the highest point in Schuylkill County. And what I do is I sit up the tower and watch for smoke. If I see something, I would use this device here called Nalidate and line it up with the smoke and get the exact direction the smoke's coming from. Then I'd guess how far the smoke is using the topography of the land. If another fire tower sees it, I can and reports it, I can triangulate and get the exact location of the smoke, getting a cross bearing. And I could use mathematical formulas to calculate exactly how far the fire is from my tower. Once I know how far the fire is from the tower, I radio dispatch the district headquarters and tell them where it is, and they'll send a patrolman out to investigate, and if it's a fire, they send the fire crew out to put it out.
Thank you. And this is pretty nice. Obviously, this is just a test shot, like a presentation shot tower.
It's
but yeah, so
for show. It's not.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful though. Oh my God, it's beautiful. So who did all the revitalization to the tower here?
Various organizations.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. I know Southward, they played a big role in it, and so did the I'm going to kill the name of the Forest Warden District, the Weiner. Am I killing that name?
Oh.
I forget the name of it though. That's okay. But thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andy Weaver. I work for the Pennsylvania Game Commission. Today I'm here at Owl Creek talking about prescribed fire and its use for improving wildlife habitat here in this part of the state. We burn both forests and fields to improve the habitat, wildlife habitat, and which is a little bit different than what a lot of the folks are talking about here today. Actually using fire, not necessarily just putting it out, but fire has had an historic effect on wildlife habitats in Pennsylvania, and we're looking to rehabilitate some of those plant communities as well as maintain those as well. So that's what I was talking about here today. And like I said, it's the Pennsylvania Game Commission. We do quite a bit of burning, and expect more in the future.
My name is Frank Snyder. I'm a service forester for the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Bureau of Forestry. I'm here at Owl Creek Reservoir today to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the fire wardens organization in Pennsylvania. In my display, we're talking about how wildfires damage trees. Sometimes wildfires will kill trees, other times they'll actually burn trees and actually damage the inside. And I have a series of cookies here that you can actually see the damage that fires do to trees. So if you look at this cross section with a chestnut oak tree that's 58 years old, if you look at the center, you'll see the center and you'll see the growth rings coming around, which are pretty normal. And you get out to about 37 years, all of a sudden the growth rings go nuts. And what happened there was, in 1967, a fire came through there and killed that part of the tree. And the tree started to callus over. It calloused over, and eventually it closed in the tissue, and then eventually the growth rings became normal. So this cross section just shows how fire can damage a tree. And then I actually have a series of cookies over here, and the unique thing about these 3 cookies is they're all red pine. They were planted the same day. They were planted on the same site. They got the same amount of rainfall, but when you look at the diameters of these trees, they're totally different sizes. You have big ones, medium-sized ones, and small ones. The reason that we have some trees grow bigger than others is because this tree, the big tree, actually had more command of the light and grew larger, and it produced shade on the other trees. And those trees eventually just slowed up and they're stagnated. So I kind of want to equate this to the forest that we see across the way, and those trees are mostly even-aged forest. And that means that that big white oak in there that's 15 inches is the same age as that white oak that's 6 inches in diameter. And it all comes down to the same thing here.
And mostly due to the shading of the bigger tree on the others? Is that usually the biggest factor?
Yep, that's the biggest thing. And then the last thing we did was kids could make a tree cookie. And I was putting on I Love Smoky. And I could give this to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my name is Daniel Mattern. I'm a forest fire warden for the Weiser District and the president of the Weiser Forest Fire Warden Association. We're here today at Owl Creek for our 100th anniversary of the fire wardens. And what I have right here on display is we have a tank for hauling water to fight fires. And we use that mostly for mop-ups. We have the fire rake. That there's for cutting lines. Okay, for cutting lines. And then we got a Pulaski there. That there is for digging roots, cutting roots. And then we have, of course, the shovel. That's for digging trenches and that. And also for smothering fires. This here's a wire broom, and that's for also raking leaves to make a line. And this here is a drop torch, and this here we use this for backfiring. So you heard the story, fight fire with fire. Well, that's what this does. This here is a Sandvix. Not just for cutting brush and twigs and stuff like that, and saplings to clear a way, to make a path for our fire line. These are flares that we use for marking, and also for backfiring. You do that for too. And this, of course, your hard hat, your goggles, and your light. The light's used for at night when you're out in the field at night on the fire. And of course the goggles, you wear them to protect your eyes from getting your eyes damaged, getting hit in the face with something. That's what they're for. Of course there's more tools than this. We have leaf blowers, we have
Chainsaws.
Yep, chainsaws, and so on. And to make a big line, we have a bulldozer. So that's
Thank you.
Good.
Hello, my name is Chris Roach. I'm with the South Forward Fire Company in Tamaqua. We're at the Owl Creek Reservoir today for the 100th anniversary of the Wiser Wardens. This is the South Forward Fire Company's Kubota. It's a small UTV. We use it just for small brush fires, stuff like that. Over here, we have our light brush truck. Some equipment just for small crew stuff. Carries 3 people and multiple array of tools. On the other side of it, you see our 5-ton, which is not a doo's nap, it's a 5-ton. Carries 2 people, plus anybody that we need to carry in back for a man.
There you go. And what do we have right here?
That's Tara.
Okay.
Hi there, I'm Jim Schaefer. I'm from Lehighton, and I have a Smoky Bear collection here, and also a wildfire prevention collection.
There you go. And I see you have a large collection. How many items do you have on collection here today?
Well, that would take a lot of thinking. I might have 300 posters, 250 pins, let's say accumulation of 1,000 items for sure.
Wow.
30-some different Smoky Bears, stuffed bears of different type. So.
Wow. When did you start collecting these?
Oh, I would say I started in probably 1990 or something like that.
Wow.
My wife was collecting Carbon County, Lehighton items, and we went to flea markets and so forth. So as we were passing by Smoky items, I started collecting those, and one thing that's from a minor start collecting, I got into big time.
There you go. And I guess were you also in the forest fire world?
Oh yeah, I started as a fire crew member in 1955, became a fire warden in 1960, worked for the state, started in 1962, and retired in 2000.
Okay. Thank you. And I see you have a really nice collection. In addition to the stuffed animals, I see you have, what do we have here? We have signs and wood artworks.
A lot of antique signs.
Wow.
For instance, here, this is prior 1928.
Oh, wow.
This sign, these fire warden signs date back in the 30s for sure.
Wow. If people want to see your display, they're not going to. By the time they're watching the video, they're not going to be able to see it. But where else do you display all your stuff?
I would say only when the forestry wants something. That's
oh, good to go, good to go. Yeah. All right, thank you. So we'll just keep walking around. I see you got patches here as well. And you, what's the oldest and the hardest to get? You think? What's the farthest you've had to get some of this stuff? I can see.
Well, I wouldn't say I don't look for something hard. Whatever comes along.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm impressed. There's a lot of work here involved, and they're very organized. Thank you. So, do you still volunteer with the forest fires too?
I am a volunteer.
Oh, you're still a volunteer as well.
That's
Okay.
why I'm here. That's
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm gonna get some more video of this.
Is this yours, Jimmy? Yeah. Collection. Okay. What time of the day is it?
2:23. Okay. I think we're about ready to clean up.
Oh, this. And then put it in the home. I have